I'm
Hello.
back.
Listen, now can I do my regular intro now? Because
Yeah,
it felt a little, it was great, but
it was great. It was great. I watched.
I missed you.
I missed
Okay,
you
so
too.
wait. So let's start. Let's start. Okay. Good evening, Good evening, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Doing. I feel off centered. Doing the Doctorate podcast. Maybe it's the TAM. The TAM. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome to the welcome to the podcast. We have really gotten really comfortable with you all.
Very, very comfortable.
Very comfortable. I am Dr. Kesslin. I am honored to host this podcast. In this podcast, we try to inform and inspire doctoral students or prospective doctoral students. We want to help you get in, through, and out of your doctoral program. And so I am super excited to be here. But you all know, listen, this is season 4, season 5. I think this is like season 5.
Life.
I think it's 5. So by now, you know that I don't do this alone, right? I have with me tonight again the incomparable, the amazing early childhood educator and the founder of STEM Early LLC,
Yes.
Mom Amazing. I think that's going to be your new line. Mom Amazing. I like it.
Mama, I like it.
Mom Amazing. Not just amazing mom, but the title, Mom Amazing. The lady that we have a perfect song for. Welcome back, Dr. O. Hey. Oh.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, what's
I'm
up, O?
I'm so glad to be back. I missed you all. But listen, we had to turn the entire church into a STEM lab.
All the pictures,
It
amazing.
was so amazing. And I thought, if we start at 1:30 right after church is over, surely we'll be done decorating the church
By
by
7:50.
7:30. Get home, get settled, get on the podcast. We didn't leave the church Sunday night till 11.
What? But it looked like it.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
we moved.
cool.
It was amazing. And VBS was amazing and it was great. And I'm back and I'm glad to be back.
Listen, let me slide this camera over so I can see if I'm. Yeah. Okay. So I am so glad that you are back. But I must say, we had a great time last week.
It
Dr.
was.
Lakeisha McMillan joined. She's amazing. I happen to
Yes.
know that she just came back from her week of training. She's amazing. She's an MD doctor.
Wow.
So she was able to talk about just her journey and how God led her into, through, and out of her doctoral MD program. So it was really cool to have. I have some cool friends. Oh,
You do. Like me? No.
like you, of course. And as I think about it, like my friends don't stop. Like there's always the next. There's always, God, what's next for me? What do you want me to do next? Like, how do you want me to serve? Where do you want me to give? So I'm just thankful. I'm thankful. I called her and like when I got your message, I was like, oh Lord. Let me see. Who can I call? And yeah, she was like, sure. I'm on the road right now, but I'll be home by like 10 minutes after 8. Can you patch me in? Absolutely. So thank you, Dr. Lakeisha. Thank you. You all need to check her out.
Yes.
She is the other PMS expert, perimenopause.
I love it.
And so she's amazing. But we missed you.
Yes, I missed y'all too. And I want to go back to what you said about serving.
Sure.
We just had a funeral.
Love your shirt.
Thank you. Call to serve.
Yes.
We just had a funeral of someone who was 105 at our church. And my husband and I were talking about him and how he was always asking, how can I serve? And how our former pastor, who, Pastor Smedley, he would always say there's no such thing as retirement in the Bible. And so if we're still alive, we still have purpose. And so we need to ask God, what am I called to do? Where am I called to serve? No matter how old we are. And, I just remember him and saying, okay, how can I serve? What else can I do? He was an Omega. He was a veteran. He was in all the things. Like the funeral was massive.
Wow.
But he was always asking, even post 100, 101, 102, 103.
Wow.
Where can I serve? And that's what the doctorate is all about. It's positioning you to serve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There is, to me, it is a responsibility and a call, right?
Yes.
If you
Yes.
feel the call, the urge, the nudge to do it, then that means God has given you, to me, from my perspective, God has given you a greater
Yes.
responsibility to touch more people, because
Yep.
that's what this is all about. For me, it's not about being called Dr. Kesslin. In fact, can I just be honest? Um, I tell my family, some of my family call me Dr. Kesslin, and I'm like,
Please stop.
that's my stage name. Like, I want to take off the tam and the work. Well, this is home.
Yes.
But they recognize it's not, for me, it's not about being called Dr. Kesslin. Really,
Mm.
it's about, when people say Dr. Kesslin, it's the responsibility that comes with the DR,
Mm.
not
Yep.
the whatever glamour,
Yeah.
fame, whatever. No,
Yeah.
it's a
It
responsibility. So
is.
you're right. That's what this is all about. It's about a different, greater, impactful stage
Yep.
to do the work. So
Yep.
anyway, so that's why we are here. We are
Hmm.
committed to helping you get your doctorate, because as I always say at the end of every show, your research
It
matters.
matters.
Your
It
research
matters.
matters. And so, yeah. So how have you been, Doc, in this last like 2 weeks now? What's been going on? Where have you been? I know.
VBS, 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 and more VBS. It was great. I don't take the opportunity lightly. When the church approached me to do the gospel according to STEM as a VBS 2 years ago, I was like, absolutely. And it
Yeah.
was amazing last year. We had twice as many kids this
Wow.
year. We had
Wow.
almost 200 kids the first
Wow.
night. Almost a
Each
hundred.
night.
Yeah, we were up there in numbers, and so it was really cool to see the kids just excited and free. Because again, I
Mhm.
always say, what we learn in fun, we always remember. Because the emotional
Mm.
brain is fully formed at birth, and a lot of times we try to teach kids via logic, and that part of the brain doesn't develop. They're saying now like 25. It used to be 21.
Wow.
They're saying now
Wow.
25.
Come on
So
and
if you want
teach.
if you
Yeah.
want kids to learn and remember, it has to be seeped in fun. It has to be. And so it was great to just see the freedom that the kids had at the church, and just we had a glow night. So the kids stayed on, the teenagers. Let me talk about the teenagers. The teenagers were my second largest group, and
What?
not young teens, because we have four groups.
Wow.
Ages 14 to 17 was my oldest group. We had almost 20 some odd kids in that group.
Wow.
And when I made that group, I was like, we
They're not
probably
gonna
we'll
come. They're
probably
not
get
gonna.
5 or 6, and if we get 5 or 6,
Wow.
and then I'll let them just volunteer and help out. We had 20 some odd kids in the 14 to 17-year-old group. We had
That's cool.
30 some odd kids in the 6 to 11 group.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of kids, and then a lot of adults. So it was just really cool to see, and I appreciate the church for letting us stay Thursday night and doing a glow in the dark party with the kids till like almost 11 o'clock at night.
So if you all don't follow O, you need to follow her, because like the pictures, I
Yeah,
was like, that is so
it
cool.
was.
How do you come up with these amazing ideas? I'm like, wow, it was so
Yeah,
cool.
it was.
I
Yeah,
hate that I live so far away.
so
I'm
far away.
close, but it's so far. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
it was so cool. So
yeah,
wow. So thank you
yeah. It was.
for all of the work that you do, and your
Thank you.
team, because I know you don't do it
Yes,
alone.
81 volunteers.
Wow. And it's
Because when
still
you're on
6
a
to 11
mission,
o'clock at
when
night.
you have
Wow.
mission and you're on purpose,
Mm.
and it's clear, people will get behind you. The thing is a lot of times we're not clear about what our mission is. And you
Mhm.
said, how do you come up with all these ideas and things? I really attribute that to the doctoral process and what I learned about how to teach teachers, how to teach children, how to
Yeah.
structure curriculum, all that stuff I learned in my program, and how to lead people and really get people. Because again, Your doctorate is your mission, it's your purpose, is how you want to change things. And you can't change the world if nobody gets behind you, because your mission is too big to accomplish alone.
Wow. Wow.
So when you have a mission and it's clear and it's focused, people will get behind you.
Yeah.
And I
I,
learned all that in my program. I really
it's true.
did.
It's very true. It's very true. It's amazing to me that full disclosure, I haven't done any recruitment for clients, no advertisement, nothing. But I get calls
All the time.
all the time because people know me as the doctoral coach, which I'm so thankful for. I know that that is a part of my calling. I
Mhm.
know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that's a part of what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Someone said, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight, but I guess it does. I guess it does. But someone called and they said, I haven't, I need your help. I need your help. And I said, I haven't really done any outreach right now because, we're in transition and some things. But she said, look, whenever you get started again, whenever you have a new cohort, I need to be in the number.
Mhm.
But she said, I need to tell you that every Monday when you post, I'm in several doctoral groups. And she said, every Monday when you post, it encourages me. It keeps me going. It
I love
means
that.
so much to me. And I'm thinking, wow, sometimes you
Yeah.
don't
You don't
know
know.
how you touch people, but
Yeah.
with every post, she is encouraged. And so that encourages me to keep going. It
Yes.
reminds me of my purpose as a doctorate. As a doctor, it reminds me that this work that I'm doing, it really is not for me.
Nope.
It affirms other people in their journey. So I've got to keep
Got
going.
to keep going.
Got
You
to
got to
keep
keep going.
going. So,
Got to
and
keep
yeah,
going.
people are behind you.
Yes.
I'm so
100%.
thankful that I got a chance to tell Dr. Lakeisha. I don't know if you know this, but Dr. Lakeisha was one of the first people that I called when I was at the very, 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 very beginning of taking a class. And I told her this last week. She encouraged me to, and you've said it, make the investment.
Yes.
Make the investment in yourself and the vision that God has given you. And so
Yes.
I got a chance to thank her. She is really a big part of why the PhD consultants and Dr.
Nice.
Kesslin exists. So
That's awesome.
it's so cool to be walking in
That's cool.
your purpose and to be fulfilled even when we're tired,
Yeah.
right? Because I
Yeah.
know after VBS you were tired.
Girl.
Listen, I,
Girl.
you had to have been.
Girl.
I saw the pictures.
Tired. That's why I don't have my
But
lashes on today, because I was asleep until 30 minutes before this podcast. And I
but
said,
but but you're but we
I'm
keep
here.
going because we know that God, right? This is what God has for us. So thankful. So listen,
Yes.
um, doctoral thought for the day. The doctoral journey, and this is probably one of our themes,
Mm-hmm.
but the doctoral journey is one that focuses on discovering and disseminating truth, right? The doctoral journey is one that focuses on discovering, but that's just one part, and disseminating truth. So the research that you do is to discover truth. But then if you sit on it and you don't publish from it, or you don't talk about it, or you don't take your findings into a public space, then, and I'm not saying you have to do it right away because there is you do need some distance after you graduate. But if you don't disseminate what you found, then what good is it? So, the doctoral journey, yes, it is about asking the questions and discovering truth, but it's also about disseminating truth, sharing it. As little kids, we learned sharing is caring. So, share your information. Anyway, your thoughts.
So many people are afraid to put themselves out there because they're afraid of rejection, and they're afraid that people will not get behind what it is they're doing, or they'll scrutinize, or they're criticized. But you just need to get over that. Criticism is a part of the process. Criticism and compliments need to be filed in the same file folder. right? They should not push you, they should not hinder you. What really should push you is your mission and truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people will embrace truth and some
Mm-hmm.
people will reject truth.
Mm-hmm.
But if you
Absolutely.
hold on to the truth that you have that can change the world because you're afraid of rejection, then you're really doing the people that you're called a disservice. And so what you're really saying is
Ouch.
the people that reject you mean more than the people that need you.
Ouch.
And so
That hit me right
why
here. That hit me. Oh. Oh. Oh.
I lost my train of thought
I'm
because
sorry. Oh, that one hit me. Oh. Oh. Sorry. It ricocheted from your screen onto my
I mean,
forehead.
it's true.
It is
It
true.
means
It's
that
true.
you care more about your critics than those who you're called to.
Man.
It's almost like
Man.
if someone is drowning and you're
That's
called,
enough. What more?
okay,
That's a no.
and you're called to save them, and you see them drowning, and you running toward the water to save them,
Yeah.
and somebody on the beach is like, "Why are you running that way? You shouldn't run that way. Why are you doing that?" And so what
But
you do
you
is
have purpose and you know why you're running and you know where you're
you
going.
know where you're going, but you
Yeah.
stop because you're like, "Oh,
Mm.
so someone is literally losing their life because you care about what the people on the beach are saying."
Ouch.
So you
Ouch.
have to put it out there. And I have a friend and I follow her, and she has a brand called Scream Your Dream. And she's always talking about how her tagline is stop whispering your wishes and scream your dream.
Ooh.
Basically, put yourself out there. Right? If you're selling cookies, put the cookies out there. If you're a coach, put your services out here. Because what happens is people with far less superior services, far less superior food are putting themselves out there. Meanwhile, you have an actual solution rooted in actual data,
Yeah.
but you're not putting it out there because either you're afraid, you're trying to wait for it to be perfect, you're trying to wait to get it to a place where no one's going to criticize. People are going to criticize you.
I'm
Period.
gonna need you to pause
Okay, I'll
because you have
stop.
people clutching their pearls. Let me clutch my pearl.
It's just true.
But it is true.
It's
And
true.
we have been taught, not that I am a educator in the same way that you are,
Uh-huh.
but we have been taught to give the right answers. We haven't been taught that discovery is a part of the perfection process. We've been taught that we should memorize
That's good. That's good.
and replicate the quote unquote right answers when in reality it's all about discovery, right? And that's why listen, this is tonight's
So many
podcast.
notes. So many
But listen,
notes.
but that is why people really struggle in their doctoral journey because they think that it's like right. I've done this correctly. This is right. What's the right way to do it? There may be a better way, but it's the discovery process.
Yep.
You don't know what you don't know until you try it, right? It's the process. So when you get that feedback that feels like your paper is all red, it's been
Good.
cut all up, it's because you tried something, your teacher said, let's reshape that. And you say, okay, let's try it. Or your teacher says, well, have you thought about it this way? That's a part of the journey. It's not that for the most part, it's not about a process being right or wrong. It's about a discovery, a journey of discovery, a journey of questions that get you to a place of finding truth and presenting truth, right? It's a process, y'all. It's a process. It's not a check mark, right, wrong, right, wrong.
It's not.
That's not it. That's not it. Anyway,
It's good.
I've gotten all, but anyway, so the doctoral journey is one that focuses on discovering and disseminating truth, but it is a journey and you can't stop at discovering. I
Yeah.
need you to be in a place where if you finished your doctorate, now you need to think about how am I going to disseminate this? How am I going to use it? How am I going to use it as a part of my service?
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to use it as a part of my service? So anyway,
Yeah, and
Doc,
you don't want to.
where
Okay,
them
so
fans at? Where them fans at?
Stop shrinking
Uh-oh.
yourself to fit the size of people's emotional fragility, because that's all you're doing when
Say it
you're
again.
stop shrinking yourself to fit the size of people's emotional fragility,
Mm.
because that's what you're doing, because you are sitting on everything that you've learned and that you've discovered in your program, and now you're worried or concerned about what other people, how are other people going to feel if I start sounding the alarm about DEI when DEI is being hushed.
Mm. Silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've
Wow.
spent all this time on this topic, and now because this topic is no longer, in vogue, or it's being silenced, now you feel like, let me try to fit my findings and my truth into the container that society has built for me, and it don't fit there because it was designed to shatter the stupid container anyway.
Because truth doesn't always fit in a bottle.
No, it doesn't.
No, truth
Sometimes the
doesn't
truth,
always fit in a bottle. In
it's
fact, sometimes truth breaks the
that's
bottle.
what I was just about to say. That's what I was just about to say.
Yep.
Sometimes
And
truth.
we're called to be truth bearers, light givers. Doesn't listen, light cannot be contained, right?
Listen,
It cannot be contained. Truth should not be contained.
it should not. And
It should not.
everybody's not going to be for you.
Yeah.
And if you can't show up as yourself in the groups that you surround yourself with, then you need to get another group.
Listen, that made my earphone fall off. Truth, facts,
It's truth. It's
facts.
truth. It's
Yeah,
truth. Don't
yeah.
sit on don't sit on what you've discovered, because it's not, like you said in the beginning, it's not for you to be called Dr. Kesslin, and
No,
and I get to, it's not for that.
no.
It's for changing systems and society, and you can't do that if you don't put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You have to put yourself out there.
So I'll tell you, and I've shared this story on this podcast before. We really are getting to some content, but this is
Mhm.
good. This is good
Yeah.
stuff. When I first early on, like after Dr. Lakeisha said, "Yeah, you need to do this," right? Maybe a year later, I was talking to, I won't drop his name, but I was talking to a person who's a well-known motivational speaker. And I said, one of my challenges is that I was raised in a southern small town. You don't talk about yourself. You don't talk about, like, my parents are really humble. We just don't talk about all the things that we do. And so it's hard for me to put myself out there. I
Mhm.
never, if you like, I wasn't active on social media like that. If you go back and look at my history, you don't see a lot of posts about what I did and testimonials about people, how I helped people. But he said, "So how do people know what you do if you don't tell them?
That part.
How are you going to help? How are you going to disseminate truth? How are people going to know that you are on this mission, that this is your purpose, if you don't tell them?" I was like, wow.
Period.
You're so right. Like,
Period.
you need to go to the people that you're serving and let them know that you're here.
Yeah.
Right? Truth.
It's truth, and it takes 7 touches to make a sale, and all
Oh.
a sale is transference of belief. That's
Mm,
all it is. Because
mm,
people don't buy products, they buy feelings, right?
mm.
They buy the intangible. And so when you think about it, if it takes 7 touches for me to transfer a belief to you, and I'm trying to say that the way we're used to educate young children is not serving us, but this way, according to the research that I've done in my doctoral program, is the best way for us to educate young children. And I say it one time and somebody says, "Oh, I don't believe in that." And then I just go,
Okay.
So we continue to perpetuate systems that traumatize and re traumatize children while I'm sitting on truth that I've researched. But because one person said something negative, now I'm not saying nothing else.
Wow. Wow.
When you know it takes 7 touches at least to transfer belief, and you've said it one time, because
You
again,
know what
you're
hit me?
afraid. What's that?
What hit me is that to some degree is that insecurity
Mm,
or arrogance, and they are different sides of the same
same
coin,
coin.
right?
Hmm.
Insecurity, they're not going to hear me, or arrogance, I've done my part. Wow.
Yeah.
And so we stop.
Until we stop.
For some of us, stop.
Mm,
Yeah. 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 Work to be done, work to be done. So we just want to encourage you to
yeah.
not stop, to get your
Keep
doctorate, to
going.
go through. My job is to help you get in, through, and out of your doctoral degree program so you can make a dynamic difference in the world
Yeah.
with your research, with your truth, with the information that you've discovered. That's my job. I am a consultant. I am a coach. It is not for any other reason but to make a dynamic difference in the world. I
Mm,
know that your research matters. That's why I write this book. I don't write these books. Do I have the other one up here? I write the books just to share information,
yeah.
just to share information because want, I know how important research is.
Mhm.
I know how important truth is.
Yeah.
Just think about all of the information that we've learned about 1619
Yeah.
or about,
Yes.
right? Or about DEI
Yep.
or about educational models that work
Yep.
or about pedagogy or phemagogy, which is a new, relatively new kind of concept, right? Andragogy, the things that we learn because somebody did the research. My job is to help you do research that matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my job. My
Yeah.
job is to help you get in, through, and out so that you can not just discover, but disseminate truth.
And I want to say,
Yeah.
you need to practice disseminating truth to a consultant, to a coach, to a group of people when you are struggling, right?
Absolutely.
And so the truth is, you say, yeah, Dr. O, Dr. Kesslin, I hear you, I hear you. But that rejection, it hurts and it feels a certain way. Well, find some people to share that truth with. Don't hide the hard, right? Share it. This is how I felt. I felt really rejected when my committee turned down my proposal, when they put all those red marks on my lit review. Don't hide the hard.
That's
Speak the
good.
truth.
That's
Speak the
good.
truth. And if you get in the habit of speaking the truth to people that can help you, then when it comes time for you to be on larger stages or to be out in the world, you will be less impacted by rejection because you have found a way. You will have what I call a rejection management plan,
Mm,
because
I
it
love
does
that.
hurt and it's not fun. But
At
you can,
first, no,
at first, at
at
first,
first.
but you cannot let it paralyze you.
Yeah.
So share that with someone. Don't hide the heart. I'm feeling a certain kind of way right now. I'm feeling like giving up. I'm feeling like what's it all for? And then that's why we're here, to
Yeah.
encourage you and find a group of people that will encourage you, because you have to speak truth. You have to
Listen,
keep speaking the truth.
I remember the first article that I ever submitted for publication.
Mhm.
I thought it was good. I worked on it with my colleague, now Dr. Helen Fishel, and we had written this article, Helen Fishel and a few friends, and it got rejected, right? It was a revise and resubmit.
Mhm.
What I saw was rejection, and I sat on that article for 2 years.
Wow.
And then I talked to my mentor, and my mentor said, "Well, let me see it." And
Mhm.
she looked at it, and she said, "Kesslin, this is really good.
Mhm.
You all got to revise and resubmit. That means that's not a total rejection. It means this is good. You just need to do some edits and resubmit it, and I'll help you. To your point, don't hold on to the hurt, right?
Yeah.
I was like, really? That's what this means? She said, yeah. You've been sitting on this jewel for years, and
Yes.
people need this information. And all you had to do was just kind of do some edits.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I will tell you, when now Dr. Fisher was in her doctoral program, one of the articles that she had to read was her own article.
I love that.
Her
I
colleague, her
love that.
colleague said, "Is this your name?" She said she chuckled like, "Yeah, this is."
That's so cool. That is cool.
But only
That's cool.
because we asked for help.
Yeah.
We asked for
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
because we had truth, but we didn't know how to disseminate it. And that's
Yeah.
the power of a mentor, a coach, a consultant,
Yes.
somebody who's been there, done that,
Done
can
that.
help you interpret some of the messages you get
Mm-hmm.
and help you get your truth out there. Well, Doc,
Yeah.
listen, we got to none of the stuff, and
But
that's okay.
that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah, yeah. Because the doctoral journey is one that focuses on discovering and disseminating truth. We
True.
have just disseminated lots of truth tonight.
Yes, we have. Yes, we
So,
have.
anyway, well, I'm good. So, what's coming up for you, Doc? What's coming up?
A lot. A lot of travel. I'm gonna be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different.
Mercy.
Yeah, 5 different places
Well,
in July.
I'm about to wind down just for a
See,
little bit. Just because self-care.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm about to wind up. My first conference is the National Association for Elementary School Principals Conference in Seattle. So I'm very excited to be
Mm.
presenting there. We'll be presenting our 2 books, Advancing Empathy and Equity in Early Childhood. So I'm really excited about that conference. And then there'll be a series of blah, 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 blah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at God, man.
Yeah.
Look
It's
at
so
God
cool.
just using you.
It's so cool.
I'm proud of you.
Yay. Thank you.
I'm proud of you. You're doing it. Let me just put a shameless plug in for the NACSW. You know, I
Yes.
wear many hats.
Yep.
One of my hats is I serve as the executive director of the North American Association of Christians in Social Work. And we have our 75th
Wow.
annual conference. A lot of organizations don't last 75 years, but we have our 75th annual convention
Mhm.
in Norfolk, Virginia, November the 13th through 16th. And I just want to encourage people to register. It's going to be an amazing
Yeah.
convention, really
That's
an amazing convention. So please register. And let me just also say, people have been saying, Doc, when's your next cohort?
Yes.
Lord, help
Yes.
me. So
Yes.
I do have a cohort coming for our doctoral prep program. If you are interested in learning how to select your program, apply for your program, and you need some help, some guidance working through that process, there is a program that I have for you. And I promise you, I'm going to give you a date soon. Lord, help me for our doctoral prep program. And then I will be taking on some new clients in the fall. I'll start a new cohort of those in their doctoral program, doctoral success program. So it's coming, y'all. It's coming. It's coming. Just make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. Go to the website to see more and learn more about it. And it's coming. So there
Yes.
we are.
There it is.
There it is. There it is.
There
All
it
right,
is.
everybody. I feel like, what is the nightly show when they take a pen and they go, that's it.
I know that's it, and we're done.
That's it. And we're done. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember,
Mhm.
the doctoral process, the doctoral journey, it is not just a journey of intelligence, it is a degree of persistence. It's not merely a degree of intelligence, it's a degree of persistence. And we are here to help you persist. Why? Because your research, it matters.
It matters.
We'll see you next week. Love you, mom and dad. Talk to y'all later. Bye.